packing a suitcase. Janice was going to Italy. She needed to start packing her luggage. She took out her small suitcase from her closet and opened it up. Then she started to pack clothes in her suitcase. She packed t-shirts, pants, dresses, skirts, socks, shorts, and shoes. When Janice was finished packing, she tried to close her suitcase, but the suitcase did not close at all. She tried sitting on the suitcase to see if that would help it close. However, it did not help. To close the suitcase, Janice had to take out some of the items she had packed. Eating peanuts. Rudolph loved to eat peanuts. Today, he purchased a big bag of peanuts to eat in the park. Sometimes people ask Rudolph for peanuts, but he refused. Rudolph never liked to share his peanuts with anyone. Rudolph was not very nice. After buying the peanuts, Rudolph walked to the park. He sat on a bench and started to eat the peanuts. While eating the peanuts, he made quite a mess. There were peanut pieces everywhere. Rudolph should have cleaned up after himself, but he did not. Then he went back to his house.
Lilly the Librarian. Lilly works at the library. Lily's responsibilities include helping people find books, placing orders for books, and keeping the library neat. She also has to organize books that are returned. Last Saturday, everyone was returning their books to the return bin. Lilly saw that the bin was overflowing. She had to take each book out of the bin and put it in the proper location in the library. It took her 3 hours to put all of the books away. Eventually, she ensured the return bin was empty for the next day. Lilly is a very hard worker. Desiree the Maid. Desiree is a maid. She has been serving the Jones family for 5 years. She picks up the children from school, cooks each day, and ensures that all rooms in the mansion are clean. There are over 20 rooms in the mansion that must be cleaned each day. Desiree is paid $100,000 each year. At Christmas each year, the Jones family gives Desiree a $500 bonus. This Christmas, Desiree was expecting the same small bonus. But surprisingly, Desiree received a $2,000 bonus. The Jones family mentioned how much they appreciate all Desiree does for the family. Desiree happily accepted her large bonus. How to store important papers. Important papers are your birth certificate, identification number, and credit card statements. It is important to keep them in a safe place. Utilizing a filing cabinet is the best way to organize documents. You can purchase one from a retail store. After you have purchased your filing cabinet, you will insert folders for each type of important paper. For example, if you have 10 credit card statements, then you will have a folder for them. If you have 6 important receipts, then you will have a folder only for them. Keeping all of your documents in specific folders is helpful and will keep you organized. A horrible joke. Oh no. I embarrassed myself at my office party. We were celebrating my boss's birthday. Everyone was told to bring food. I brought some cookies. Everyone ate my cookies, which made me happy. Suddenly, I thought I would make a very funny joke because we were having fun. I said to one of my female coworkers, "Jenny, you look fat today. Why don't you stop eating?" After I told my joke, no one laughed. They looked at me like I was weird. My boss told me it was not a funny joke. I think I ruined the whole party. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I'm worried about what they will say to me.
Rural lifestyle. As city life is getting expensive, many people are making the big move to the country. Living a rural lifestyle is much cheaper than living in an urban area. You will have the opportunity to buy a nicer, larger home than you would in an urban setting. Moreover, the rural lifestyle allows you to have your own garden and care for your own animals. Country living also means fewer cars and traffic on the road, which means less pollution and better air quality.
Gerard's new house. Gerard recently purchased a home in Virginia. His home had 5 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. He had to hire a housekeeper to keep his house clean. Gerard tried to clean his house on his own but failed miserably. He didn't even know how to use a mop. Gerard also had to hire a private chef. He had no time to cook because his job was so demanding. He decorated his home with modern decorations, and the home had lots of open space. The backyard had a pool as well. The property taxes on the house were $20,000. Because of the expensive taxes, he planned to sell the house soon.
Putting on makeup. My name is Sam, and I want to look pretty. My mom is very pretty, and my friends are pretty too. But I am very ugly, so I want to look better. I wanted to put on makeup because it would make me look better. I did not know how to put on makeup, though. I had never done it before. I did not know how much to put on, so I put on as much as I thought I should. I looked in the mirror, and it made me look okay. So I went to show my friends. They saw me with makeup on, and they started to laugh. Oh no, I didn't put it on right. Precious water. Because water is a precious resource, we need to protect our water as much as we can. Do not waste water, because it will disappear if you waste it. Remember to turn off all your sinks and showers if you are not using them. Do not use a garden hose unless you are watering your garden. Wash your car only once a month. Take a very short shower. If you do these things, we can make water last a very long time and ensure it remains available for everyone's needs.
Darren's band. Darren took a deep breath as he stood behind the stage at a concert. His band was up next, and this was the first time he had played at a concert with a lot of people. He was so nervous, but he wanted to rock out. His band's name was announced, and Darren jumped out from behind the stage. He was full of energy now. He was not nervous anymore. Then the band started its first song, and people were cheering. They were excited. Darren jumped onto the stage and started to sing. He felt the metal music flowing through him. It was his best night. Lights. People waste a lot of power every day. People often keep the lights on during the day when it's bright outside. You should turn your lights off when you do not need them. If you're not in the room, you need to turn everything off. If you have electronic devices, you can save power by unplugging them. Use rechargeable batteries whenever you can. You will help the world and save money at the same time. We use too much energy daily, so we should change our habits.
The newspaper. Jimmy liked to read the local newspaper each Sunday. He always wondered what was happening around town. Jimmy read through the paper very slowly. This was because he did not want to miss anything. Jimmy liked to read the newspaper while drinking a large cup of coffee. This was his way of relaxing on the weekend. However, Jimmy's wife hated it when Jimmy read the newspaper, because he never paid attention to her when he did so. Jimmy's wife was very grumpy and upset, but Jimmy didn't care. The Tortoise. At the Bronx Zoo, there is a large green tortoise. Its name is Pedro. Pedro is 100 years old. He likes to eat leaves and berries. All of the children who visit the zoo like to see Pedro. Pedro has a large shell and wrinkly skin. He moves very slowly when he walks. When children see how slowly Pedro walks, they laugh. Pedro is well taken care of at the zoo. He has a fresh bowl of water daily and a big cage to sleep in. Pedro is well behaved. The new phone. Henry's grandmother needed a new phone. Her old phone had broken in half. So Henry took his grandmother to the Verizon store. Henry picked out a phone for his grandmother. It would cost $800 after taxes and fees. Suddenly, Henry's grandmother started yelling in the middle of the store about the expensive phone. She told Henry that she was not going to pay $800. Other customers started to stare at Henry and his grandmother. To keep the peace, Henry had to pay for the phone with his own money. Seagulls. Seagulls are big birds that one can see at the beach. They are usually white or brown, and they have large yellow beaks. They fly around in groups of 20 or more. The seagulls in California are crazy. They steal food right out of people's hands. Their favorite foods are pizza and hamburgers. Sometimes they attack people who are holding food. These seagulls chase small children around the beach. Lifeguards must throw sand at the seagulls to make them stop their nonsense. These seagulls are very scary.
Going to Dollar Tree. Going to Dollar Tree is fun. As soon as one walks into the store, they see holiday decorations for each season. There are decorations for St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Halloween, Easter, and Christmas. The store is always full of crazy customers. Sometimes customers fight over items in the middle of the store. It is quite a sight to see. Each item in Dollar Tree is $1.25 plus tax. Many people go to Dollar Tree because it is very affordable. Also, the checkout process is very quick. Dyeing Easter eggs. Marlena grew up in a Catholic household. That meant on Easter she had to follow certain traditions. One of the traditions that Marlena grew up with was dyeing Easter eggs. Yesterday, Marlena went to the store to buy eggs and food coloring. To dye the Easter eggs, she added food coloring to a cup of water, and she dropped eggs into the cup of brightly colored water. Then, she let the eggs sit in the food coloring for some time before removing them. Now the eggs were finally dyed.
Finding a perfect house. Alice is a realtor. Alice has sold many houses. Her newest client was the Jones family, who had been unable to find a house for 2 years. Alice brought up some suggestions about homes currently on the market, but the Jones family was unimpressed. Alice waited to see if any new homes were coming on the market within the next week. When Alice saw a perfect home for the Jones family on the internet, she gave them a call. The Jones family and Alice met at the ideal home. As soon as the Jones family saw the home, they made an offer. Alice was surprised. Dogs. Dogs come in many different sizes. Some are toy sizes and weigh only 4 pounds, and some weigh over 100 pounds. Dog skin is much thinner than human skin, so it is important to use a shampoo specifically made for dog skin. Interestingly, dogs have blood vessels in their claws. This is why it is so important to be careful when trimming their claws. As we know, dogs have an excellent sense of smell. They can smell many things that we cannot. Dogs are very friendly and fun, so they are called man's best friend. Sharks. There are over 400 species of sharks in the ocean. Sharks are very active at night, especially when they hunt. Because they have excellent vision, they can see in the dark, which is great for hunting at night. Sharks are not territorial animals, so they often move around to different locations to find food. Their sense of smell is very sensitive. They can detect a single drop of blood in the water surrounding them. They are very dangerous because their sharp teeth can penetrate almost anything. Hiking. If you're looking for free activities to do in your spare time, hiking is a great way to get some exercise and fresh air. There are a lot of hiking trails throughout the country. If you don't like hiking, just walking in your neighborhood is a good option. While hiking is an excellent form of exercise, it can also help clear your mind. After you finish hiking, you will feel so much more energized and healthier.
Paying your bills online. More people are interested in receiving their bills online rather than in the mail. This is because more people are concerned about the amount of paper being used. When you receive a bill in the mail, it usually comes with numerous pieces of paper. This is horrible for the environment, and it is harmful to trees. Paying your bills online is very convenient. You are able to pay the bills instantly online. Also, you can always see statements from the present and past.
Cape May, New Jersey. Cape May is a city at the bottom of New Jersey. It is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. Cape May has a town center with hundreds of places to shop. There are clothing, food, and souvenir shops. There are also numerous small beaches around the city. One beach is called Sunset Beach. It has a sunken ship and gift shops. The gift shops are where visitors can purchase unique seashells and home decorations. If you visit Cape May, you can collect shiny rocks from the beach and watch beautiful sunsets.
A pen name. I want to write a book about action and adventure. I want people to read my book and have fun. However, the only problem is that I do not think my name is good. My name is Dale Smith, and that is not a writer's name. Writers have all sorts of cool names. Stephen King, Max Miller, and Clive Barker are the best names for writers. Those names make people want to read the books. But my name is too simple. Maybe I could write with a pen name. A writer uses a pen name to pretend to be someone else. It is not my real name. I will make it. Money. I need a lot of money right now. I know a lot of people want money, but I really do need it. I made a bet with someone, and I lost. I did not have the money when I made the bet. It was wrong to do that. I know I need to pay off the debt. For this reason, I need to get a job. What job can I do? I want something that is easy and fun. Maybe I can take photos at parties. That would be very fun. I will apply for photography jobs now.
Food waste. Wasting food is very bad. Food does not last forever when it is made. Sometimes you can keep it in a fridge for a while, but it will always spoil. When it spoils, you cannot eat it. A lot of people all over the world are starving right now. They cannot get any food. They are too poor to pay for food. If you have food and you will not eat, you should give it away. One place to give away food is called a food bank. It is a bank that has food in it, and they give food to hungry people. They will give the food to people who need to eat. Donating food to food banks is a rewarding thing to do. Let's help poor people have a yummy meal. Driving at night. There was a man who did not like to drive his car at night because he could not see very well. He wanted to leave his job early so he could go home and get a good night's sleep. One day, his boss asked him to stay late and work. He hated that. After finishing work, the man drove as slowly as possible so he would not get into an accident. It was very hard to see in the dark. He was very nervous because he heard a lot of strange noises. Eventually, he got home and called in sick the next day.
Renting a boat. Harry decided to rent a boat while he was on vacation. He paid $200 to rent the boat for 6 hours. Harry invited his friends onto the boat. Too many people were on it. All of a sudden, the boat started sinking. Harry didn't know what to do. The boat was sinking farther and farther into the water. Harry had to think quickly. He gave everyone on the boat a life jacket. This would keep everyone afloat once the boat sank. Harry knew that he'd have to replace the boat. Horrible meal. Leah and her father decided to go to a restaurant named Best Seafood. It was a small restaurant on the bay in Long Beach Island. The restaurant served only seafood and was pretty expensive. Leah and her father had high hopes for their dinners. Leah ordered the fried shrimp, while her father ordered the flounder stuffed with crab meat. Shockingly, Leah's shrimp was overcooked, and her father received a small portion of food. Leah's meal cost $85, and her father's meal cost $97. The main courses were expensive, and it was a horrible meal. The refrigerator. Manny invited his family over to watch Sunday football. Manny expected to have around 10 people at his house. He had to go food shopping, clean the house, and prepare the appetizers. Suddenly, Manny realized that his refrigerator was not cold anymore. Manny thought that was weird. Then, all of a sudden, Manny realized that his refrigerator had broken. The people arriving at his house would be expecting cold drinks. Manny had to run to the store to get ice and a cooler. Then he had to chill the drinks in the cooler. Large tomatoes. Felix is growing tomatoes in his garden. He currently has 4 different varieties of tomatoes growing. Felix has 55 plants in his garden. Each week, he has to trim the leaves and harvest the tomatoes. It takes lots of time to complete. Felix sometimes gives away his tomatoes to his friends and family. They are so appreciative of him. Felix wants to grow the biggest tomatoes in the neighborhood. He has to water the tomatoes 3 times a day to get the biggest tomatoes.
Drying olives. Oswald was the only person in his family who had never eaten an olive. The colors of olives freaked out Oswald. His mother ate olives in salads. His father ate olives as a side dish. His siblings ate olives as snacks. One day, Oswald wanted to see why olives were so popular. He went into the refrigerator and pulled out a jar of black olives. He put one in his mouth and instantly spit it out. The bitter flavor made Oswald gag. He told his family that he hated olives. The hot dog stand. Quincy was jogging through New York City. All of a sudden, his stomach started to grumble. Quincy had skipped breakfast, so he was starving. Then he stopped jogging to see if any restaurants were open for business. However, no restaurants were open yet, as it was only 7 a.m. The only way for Quincy to eat was from a hot dog stand. He never ate from food trucks or hot dog stands. This time, however, he was starving. He had to compromise and walk to the hot dog stand.
Reducing inflammation. Many illnesses are a result of inflammation. One of the main causes of inflammation is one's diet. If we eat lots of processed foods, we are likely consuming chemicals and artificial dyes. Eating processed foods is harmful to our bodies and can make us develop inflammation. Sometimes, our body even has difficulty digesting processed foods. The main solution to reducing inflammation is to eat healthy foods, such as vegetables and fruits, each day. We should not eat desserts that were processed in a factory. Once we eat better, inflammation in our bodies will be reduced. As a result, we will be healthy. Carving a pumpkin. Denny wanted to carve a pumpkin for Halloween. He and his family went to a pumpkin patch and picked out a large pumpkin. They brought the pumpkin home. Denny's father used a knife to cut out the eyes, nose, and mouth into the pumpkin. This was a tradition in their family. After Denny's father carved a face onto the pumpkin, Denny put a candle inside the pumpkin. This made the pumpkin light up nicely at night. He put his pumpkin outside for all to see. He was very proud. Lying to a police officer. Jack was drinking alcohol one evening, and he made a bad decision. He decided to drive home after drinking alcohol. This was illegal. Then, he got pulled over by the police because he was driving all over the road. The police officer asked Jack if he had been drinking. Jack told the officer no, and he was actually lying. The police officer already knew that Jack was lying. It was illegal to lie to a police officer. Eventually, he ended up losing his license and even had to go to jail. The Marine Biologist. Roselle studied marine biology. She loves fish and all creatures that live in the sea. Roselle works near the large beaches in New Jersey. Each day, she collects small samples of water. She puts these samples of water under a microscope. This allows her to see very small living things. She documents each new living creature she finds. On occasion, she also goes diving in the Atlantic Ocean. When she dives, she is able to see other aquatic life, such as dolphins. Dolphins are Roselle's favorite ocean creature. Because Roselle is a hard worker, she will be promoted to senior marine biologist soon.
Smoke alarms. Dolores tried to make hamburgers for the first time. She started to grill them on her indoor grill. However, she had set the heat too high on the grill. Grease from the hamburgers started to splatter everywhere. The indoor grill produced a lot of smoke. The smoke alarms in Dolores's house started to beep. She had to take down the smoke alarms to stop the beeping. She also had to open doors and windows to get the smoke out of her house.
Bad shopper. Charlie had never been a good shopper at the holidays. He usually bought his wife's Christmas present on Christmas morning. He was also very bad at finding sales. This year, however, Charlie wanted to start his Christmas shopping 1 week before Christmas. He just didn't know what to get his wife. So he started asking his friends. They recommended that Charlie get his wife jewelry. Then he went to the local jewelry store and purchased a necklace. When Christmas came, he gave the necklace to his wife. When his wife opened up the necklace, she was so happy.
Video games. I like to play video games with my best friend Jim. He is always at my house playing video games with me. We like to play games that we can both play at the same time. My favorite is racing games because I want to go to school to be a mechanic. Jim likes to play sports games because he likes to play sports. Jim's favorite sport is football, so he likes to play football games with me. We choose which game to play by flipping a coin. We are hoping to save enough money to buy a new racing game to play together. Jim will buy the game, and I will buy a pizza to eat. Recycle. Every year, people throw away a lot of trash. All this trash ends up in landfills and gets put into big dumps piled high. It is yucky, and it makes the air smell very bad. It can also make the ground very sick. People who live close to the dump get very sick as well. Plastic, metal, and glass stay in the ground for a very long time. They can also get into the water and make people sick. That means we should recycle plastic, glass, and metal garbage. It will be reused, making the dumps smaller. In turn, it will help the world get better too.
Investigating a crime scene. Last night, somebody stole a lot of money from a store. Officer Rick surveyed the crime scene to find evidence. He went to dust for fingerprints, but the dust didn't pick up any fingerprints. Then he went to look at the camera that was pointed at the safe. It was turned off. He went to look for footprints and found nothing. He was stumped. Officer Rick wrote down all the information he knew in a notebook. This was going to be a very hard case to solve. He wanted to find the thief and get all the money back. He left, ready to talk to people. Doing chores. Linda did not like cleaning her house. She thought doing chores was very boring. She just wanted to let everything stay where it was, but she needed to clean. However, the dishes were getting messy, and Linda's clothes needed to be washed. She needed to sweep the floor and dust the house, too. Reluctantly, she mopped the kitchen, did the dishes, and folded the laundry. Soon, her house looked clean and nice. Plus, it smelled very good. When it was over, Linda was very happy. Perhaps doing chores was not so bad after all. It made everything look a lot better.
The storage unit. Mark had too much stuff, so he had to buy a storage unit. It cost him $150 a month. Mark loved to collect antiques, but he was running out of space in his house. He had antiques all over the place. There were antique vases in the kitchen and statues on the front porch. There was even antique furniture in the living room. For this reason, he had to hire a moving company to help move all of the antiques into the storage unit. Mello the Dog. Mello is a large pit bull. He is very scary and mean. He protects his owner constantly. Last week, Mello bit the neighbor. The neighbor was only trying to pet him, but Mello didn't like that. The neighbor needed 40 stitches in his hand and was very mad at Mello. No other dogs in the neighborhood like Mello. Mello has to play alone in the dog park. Other dog owners will not let their dogs near Mello. They are afraid Mello will bite them. Mello needs to go through dog training. Lawn mowing. Mina had an obsession with mowing her lawn. Mina made sure her grass was only 2 inches high at all times. If the grass grew to be 3 inches, she had to mow it immediately. Last Saturday, Mina needed to mow her lawn because the grass was tall. However, her lawnmower did not start. She didn't know what to do. Then she had an idea. She went to the store to buy another lawnmower. She bought an expensive lawnmower that cost $699. She brought it home and started to mow her lawn. The peanut butter store. Valerie was obsessed with peanut butter. She went out of her way to find the best peanut butter. Previously, she had bought peanut butter at Whole Foods, Acme, ShopRite, and Trader Joe's. Now, Valerie was looking for something new. She wanted to find a local peanut butter store. So she did some research and found a peanut butter store 40 minutes away. She got into her car and drove to the store. To her surprise, there were over 1,000 jars of peanut butter on the shelves. Valerie was in heaven.
Planting a tree. Mia and her father wanted to make their backyard nicer. Mia's father suggested that they plant an oak tree in the center of the yard. Mia told her father that the tree could fall on the house. However, Mia's father did not listen to Mia. Mia's father told her that was impossible. Then, together, they planted a young oak tree. It took 4 hours. One day, a storm came. Lightning struck the new oak tree, and the oak tree fell on the house. Mia was right. Her father felt very bad. Mia and her father now had to work on repairing the house. Building a house. Mary and Hank are newlyweds. They live with Hank's parents, but Mary cannot stand living with her husband's parents. Her mother-in-law never gives her any space. Her father-in-law is very loud. Mary asks her husband if they can build a house of their own. Hank agrees that it is time to have their own space. Hank and Mary have been saving money while living with Hank's parents. Mary is so happy to finally be building a house. She is excited to design the interior and has already envisioned the kitchen.
Growing radishes. Christina grew radishes in her garden. She planted over 200 radish seeds. However, Christina's radishes grew very small. Christina's neighbor, Alberto, also planted over 200 radish seeds. Surprisingly, Alberto's radishes grew very large. His radishes were bigger than the radishes one would find in the supermarkets. Christina wondered why her radishes were so small. So she asked Alberto how to grow radishes well. Thankfully, Alberto gave many useful tips. Christina learned that radishes require lots of water and sunlight to grow. She then realized that she had not watered them enough in the past few months. Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is one of the greatest soccer players. He was born in Portugal and is well known to many people. Ronaldo plays for the Portuguese national team. He is currently dating a model. Every 4 years, Ronaldo's fans support him at the World Cup. They cheer for him and hope that his team will win the World Cup. Ronaldo has some competition in soccer. He usually plays against 2 other players named Neymar and Messi. Neymar and Messi are also great soccer players and have won many awards and championships for their soccer skills. But Ronaldo makes more money each year compared to the other 2 players. Impatient Max. Max was the most impatient individual in the world. He didn't like to wait for the bus, and he was always complaining about traffic. Max couldn't stand when people took too long to get ready. One time, his wife took 20 minutes to get ready instead of 15 minutes. He was so upset. He became extremely impatient when he was waiting in line. He would start to get agitated when there were more than 5 people in line. One day, his wife advised that he take a yoga class so that he would become a calmer person. Max agreed with his wife and took a yoga class. However, he quit the class within 2 days. The importance of self-care. Taking care of yourself is very important for your physical and mental health. There are many components of self-care. The first component is ensuring you are caring for your hygiene. This means brushing your teeth, flossing, showering, and doing your laundry. The second component is keeping your space tidy. You need to remove any clutter from your house. If you live in a cluttered space, then you are not practicing self-care. Self-care always makes you healthy.
All recipes. All Recipes is a website that contains thousands of recipes from users. Users submit their recipes to the website. Once a recipe is approved, it is edited and published on the internet. Sometimes, users submit videos of themselves cooking. Watching the videos can be extremely helpful for those who would like to learn how to cook. All Recipes also has active social media profiles like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Users post a lot of new recipes each day.
The Starbucks menu. Janine had never been to a Starbucks before, so she decided to go to one. As she walked in, she was greeted by the scent of freshly roasted coffee. She approached the barista to place her order. As she was looking at the menu, she paused. Janine could not believe how many menu options there were at Starbucks. She suddenly began to feel overwhelmed. More people were getting in line behind her. Janine knew she had to make a decision about her beverage order. She suddenly told the barista, "I have no idea what I should get." Then the barista smiled and recommended a matcha tea latte.
Bad day. I hurt myself while playing basketball with my friends. It was a nice day when we went to the park together. We did not think it would rain. But suddenly, it started to rain in the middle of our basketball game. I said I wanted to keep playing, so we played even though it was raining. When I went to jump and dunk the ball, I fell down. I fell in a puddle of water and slipped on it. I thought I broke my ankle. My ankle was swollen. I needed to go to the hospital to get it looked at. My friends wanted to take me to the hospital immediately. Healthy food. It is very hard to eat healthy food. Many people think junk food tastes so good, but vegetables taste bad. But that is not true. You can cook vegetables, and they will be very healthy for you. Add some salt and grill your veggies. They will taste great. Fruit also tastes good, but people do not eat a lot of fruit. In general, eating unhealthy food will negatively affect your health. You will get sick often. Drinking water and not drinking soda will help you feel good all day. Remember to eat and drink right.
Owls. In Vernon, New Jersey, owls can be seen on tree branches during the night or even during the daytime. The owls in Vernon are not ordinary owls. They eat everything, and they can be compared to raccoons. The owls can open trash cans and eat the garbage inside them. They are very strong. People don't know what to do with their trash anymore. Some angry people in the town try to call animal control, but animal control is not helpful. The owls own the town. The Apple Store. Rodrigo needed a phone charger. His old phone charger was not charging his phone properly. He knew he had to visit the Apple Store. The closest Apple Store was 30 minutes away. Rodrigo drove to the mall. He went into the Apple Store and picked out a new charger. He then walked to the checkout area. He spent $40 on a new charger, but he was happy with his purchase. He went home and was excited to use the phone charger. It worked, and his phone was charging.
Virginia English Center.